Welcome to Sports Scope, the most influential sports talk show in the nation.
What is today, the 19th?
Stay tuned for updates and great sports content.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Scope. I'm your host, Robert Butler, on this 29th Good Day Friday, day of March. Glad to be back on the program. Been working a lot on the day job here. It's a lot when duty calls. We've got Carlos Mad New Yorker Chavez backstage. Going to ask him about that Caitlin Clark situation. She's mulling over possibly playing for the men's Big Three League with Ice Cube. Get his thoughts on the Sinead. I started to say Sinead O'Connor, but now that's a singer from about 35 years ago, Shohei Ohtani. And get his thoughts on that situation. The NCAA tournament. Jets made a big trade today. Get his thoughts on the Titans trade last week and their off season and whatnot. And just throw in a World Series prediction, probably bound to go wrong on my perspective, but I'll get see what Carlos is thinking. So let's take our first and only break. We'll be back here. 49 seconds. We'll hit the ground running here on Sports Scope. Hello, Sports Scope followers. The program has seen tremendous growth since going 5 days a week. I just wanted to thank everybody for your cash contributions and sharing the program with friends and families. Just a reminder, if you want to contribute to the program, go to the Cash App, the cash sign, and Sports Scope. There are other ways to contribute to the program listed at the bottom of the screen. If you want to advertise on the program, go to sports, that is sports with an S, another S, scope, SKOPE, at gmail.com, just like it's listed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you and enjoy the program. Alrighty then, we're back here live. Hey, man, good to see you, Carlos.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, my friend. Having a good day, good Friday. Rough start, great ending, though.
Bro, it's been rough around here for the last 2 weeks. Everybody's
really
getting sick. My house.
Oh, under the weather?
Oh, man. You know.
Is it up and down, the temperature there? Is that what it is?
A little bit of everything. It's a blessing to be here right now, so just.
All right. Sorry to hear that, brother. I've had to deal with that at the beginning of the year.
What did Rocky say? If you get knocked down harder,
exactly.
You gotta get back up.
Yeah, it was nice.
That's how we all was talking last week.
Hey, by the way, if you've got Netflix, that documentary on Sylvester Stallone is all that in a cup of soup, everybody.
Yeah, and his honesty, he was very honest about everything, and
he talks about his shortcomings and how really difficult it was for him. And I never thought about the fact that he slurred his words like that and kind of droopy, and his dad was a hater, envious, and that's just, I tell you, you'll be surprised at how many famous people, their own parents, are envious. Terry Crews. From White Chicks. He's really funny. Big guy. And he said he got into it with his dad. His dad was envious for him way up later on his career when he was 40-ish. So it's just funny the way and it's like they end up competing with their father, who's always trashing them, but that we're envious of them. So
you gotta understand that was different times, bro. That was, first generation, second generation, people coming through and just still suffering, ain't no telling Terry Crews' father what he'd been through when he was a child. You know what I'm saying? So,
that's true.
The 50s and 60s was tough, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, someone's got, they've had a rough life.
Yeah.
And they somewhat envy. It looks like it's easier for their kids to do it. I mean, not to stay too much on that subject, but Arnold Schwarzenegger's parents never saw any of his meets.
Right.
His dad was like that too. Never watched him do any of his weightlifting things back in the day.
Era, man. We from the 80s and 90s when people just like to party all the time.
You can say our generation, everybody got a trophy. There were too much pats on the back. My dad's generation and George Steinbrenner, the owner of the Yankees, he said, my dad finally said he was proud of me when I bought the Yankees.
Yeah.
But how'd you get the money to buy the Yankees? He wasn't proud of you. No.
Right.
Yeah. George freaking Steinbrenner, which leads me to this. What's your thoughts on this Ohtani situation? They get a chance to talk to you last week, man. It's a lot bigger than I thought it was a week ago. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's gonna keep getting bigger. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. This is a situation that happened because the FBI and the wirings and the gambling and all stuff. So all that stuff pops up, and then MLB, they want to do an investigation. But I said earlier to Keith, and just for instance, the NFL, they did what they did with their guys that were gambling and were placing bets online. Just give him 5-game suspension or something. It's his money. At the end of the day, it was his money that was used. Guilty by association. If you give him 5 games and nothing comes of it, fine. He got suspended for 5 games. Lay down some.
Oh, you're saying suspend him now for 5 games?
Just get it over with. I mean, there's 5 to 10 games is nothing in baseball, man. It's it's not going to.
Do you believe him that this guy took money from him in increments and he not notice it? Even making 30 million. I mean,
Bobo, look, check this out. Remember those times in college where we were like, yo, can you spot me a 20?
Yeah.
Like in increment, you don't think that's a lot of money, but in college, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You was like, I don't know. $4 million is a lot of money to be spotting somebody, bro.
Even if you've got plenty, I that's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. It's hard for me to imagine, even if I'm sitting fat like that, the increments of that amount of money is going to come out of my account, and I'm not noticing it.
You going to spot me $4 million if you got it like that?
Yeah, well, only 500,000. I don't want anybody to get too suspicious from September. So I talked about this the other day, and I'm like, I'm like everybody else. And subconsciously, I don't want this to be true.
Right.
But at the end of the day, that MLB logo is bigger than Babe Ruth. It's bigger than Ohtani is big as he is. You got to look and see if he was betting on baseball, the truth. I hope not, but you still have to look into it.
The truth will eventually come out, but at the end of the day,
right? Exactly.
NFL they suspended people. The Dodgers suspended Trevor Bauer before he was found innocent. Because of that.
That's
situation.
True. That was preemptive, and he wasn't. Yeah, that's true.
So like
his background too. Trevor Bauer's kind of a hothead.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, listen, I mean, you're not going to tarnish his legacy if he's suspended for 5-10 games. There's a lot of guys out there that's been suspended for more than 50 games, and their legacy ain't tarnished. So, and they're not losing no money. They already paid him,
betting on other teams. That's a year suspension according to the bylaws.
Yeah, so if they find that he's got a year, then if he's already been suspended for 20 games, then he's not even a quarter way done. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So just get it, just do it.
But what if he's totally innocent and he is that naive and the guy stole his account number?
Because he's
suspended him for nothing, though.
I mean, it's not for nothing. That's his money. That was his money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, whether it was
he had a hit the other day. So, do you think this? They'll never say this publicly. I think it's hanging over the Dodgers. I think it's going to hang on them all season.
The Dodgers, they go through so much drama and so much stuff, anyways, with the other players.
Think they'll just shake it off because they're in a huge market.
It's something. I mean, they're like the Mets or the Yankees, where stuff just comes up all the time, and you just go out there and play ball.
That's another way to look at it. I never thought about it that way. There's
so
many distractions you can't keep up with them anyways.
Yeah, that's why a lot of players don't want to play in these places because it's so much. Any little thing can be blown up to be worse than what it's supposed to be. So,
well, the season started. What are your thoughts? Nobody's going to hold any gun to your head. No, certainly not mine. I picked the freaking Mets, and they didn't even make the playoffs last year. Who do you think is going to win the World Series, man?
Wow, World Series. With the stuff that's happened in the last 4
or who's going to be in it? Who's going to win it and who's going to be in it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that are going to that have an opportunity of being in it. I think it's the usual suspects right now, right? Like,
okay.
Like from the East, I'll say maybe like the Atlanta Braves
from the NL.
Yeah, from the American League, I think the Tampa Bay Rays. From the West, AL West.
Well, just say the World Series. You can skip all that because we got a lot of topics to cover, brother. This ain't Mac.
I think the Diamondbacks are still hot, so that's gonna be my black.
Okay, you know what I was thinking? I've been reading about that projected that Seattle could be a top 5 pitching staff and a top 5 hitters. Remember, they got hot last year towards the end.
Right.
I don't know if they actually made the playoff or not, but either way, they were young, hungry, surging. Who won the World Series last year? Texas or whatever?
The Rangers, yeah.
Yeah. Who saw them coming? I know they got one good free agent. Got former former Met or whatever.
Mike Scherzer, but he
didn't. Yeah. So I'll say this. How about Seattle over Philly?
Oh,
Philly surged in the last 2 years. September. Braves always find a way to screw this thing up. They'll look great in the regular season. And I was going to pick the Dodgers, but when that Ohtani stuff came out, that's like a groundswell, dude. That thing is like a cancer, man.
Right.
It just keeps going up. People's like avoided talking about the tournament last week, and that's like, oh man. So it's
I think there will be. I
like Ohtani. I wouldn't mind seeing him in it, but still,
Yeah, well, even when the Dodgers got Ohtani before this, I thought that they would be in the playoffs, but they're not going to make the World Series. It's tough for a team to add players and then just be automatically in the World Series.
Yeah.
He gives the team a better opportunity, but there's no telling what he was going to do because he's coming back from injury anyway. So I'm not going to be like, yeah, they got Ohtani, they're going to be in the playoffs because I'm not sure what he's going to do after his injury. So.
I don't think he's even going to pitch this year, is he?
No, he's just going to. I think they're saying he's just going to DH, but
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Got to start with some. Let's speak back to that pigskin, my comfort zone here. Actually, you know what? Let's knock out the NCAA tournament. I feel like it's a lot of chalk this year, which means the favorites are winning other than Alabama beating UNC.
Right.
Kentucky's always going to choke. I'm surprised Tennessee ain't already choked. I expect them to choke tonight against Creighton. No offense, Tennessee fans, but they're used to folding like a cheap suit in these moments. What's your thoughts on this tournament, man? I didn't see this coming.
Yeah, no, I felt like it was going to be the usual suspects. I picked Purdue, UConn, Houston, and Arizona.
And they're all still living.
Yeah, except for Arizona. Arizona was they surprised me. Love when I think he just lost his mental capacity to stay chill on a cool November on a cool night. But he just started shooting up stuff like he was Kobe Bryant or something.
Well, they've been underachieving last few years. They haven't really been clutch since Lute Olson. You know what?
Yeah, but that's the guy who transfers from a major school. Wants an opportunity to look good and just had a bad game, I think. And that happens, but he chose a bad night to have a bad game. I didn't have no money on it, but I'm glad I didn't. So, woof.
Man, I could just choke Kentucky's Nate Oates. And that I forgot who it was. Not Kentucky, Alabama. I had a good parlay going, Carolina. And I'm still shocked that Alabama beat Carolina last night.
I'm not sure. I don't.
If somebody gets hot from 3, things happened in the tournament, right?
Right, and then you were talking about maybe when I say Houston, you're like that coach. He always get
his team's choked in the past in Oklahoma.
So and I was like, I feel the same way about Duke and UNC. They're not they're not guaranteed wins, man. They got a lot of fans and thank God for them having a lot of fans, but that's
Kelvin Sampson, I think is his name.
Yeah. And it's like, and people are like, oh, you're a Duke and a Carolina hater. No, they produce a lot of decent basketball players, but
Carolina's came through a lot. And the thing about Duke is they're always picked to win it when Krzyzewski was in his heyday when we first started college, and 10, 12 years before that. Back in the 90s, and Christian Laettner and Bobby Hurley, brothers killing it. Danny as a coach with Connecticut, But Carolina, yeah, they've came up short a few times, but I don't know. Guys like Kelvin Sampson, it would be a good story if Houston could win the whole thing. You know, he finally gets over the hump. He gets through his had some controversy back in Oklahoma towards the end there.
Right.
And he rebounded. That's a good comeback. America loves a good comeback story.
Well, I not just the Sampson coach in there. I like their athletic players, man, in the front end and in the backcourt. They, and they run a lot. I'm just hoping that they can just stay with the stamina and get, and do what they do best, because that's what I don't mind these teams being in the tournament if you do your best and you lose. But when you don't do anything and you lose, it's like, why were you in the tournament? Like, what was your mindset that game?
Well, that's Kentucky every year. You know, not to just go all in on Calipari, but we haven't talked about Calipari. I brought this up with a friend of mine I go to church with. Huge. He's from Kentucky. He drives from Hopkinsville down here. Don't ask. I bet this guy, whatever. But John Calipari, if you look at Kentucky former players, they've got all-stars for days in the NBA. Right. Devin Booker, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC. He's a favorite to get the MVP, perhaps, in the NBA. They had the most all-stars this year by any college. And then they're sitting there and they're getting beat by Oakland, who I thought played in Oakland, California. They're not even in Oakland, California. They're in Oakland, Michigan.
No, I think
this guy, he wants to do one and done, and everybody else is doing transfer portal.
Well, he did use the transfer portal this time. He had 3 guys that were older.
Yeah.
Those 3 older guys couldn't pick up the 6 younger guys that were on the team that were.
There's no chemistry whatsoever.
And it's not just the chemistry. Like, these kids were young. It's the first time being in the light. The first time being in a tournament like NCAA. They made a lot of small mistakes. Turnovers, the bad passes, that's
lack of team chemistry. Yeah,
miss rebounding, and that's not really team chemistry. That's just them being.
Yeah, but I'm supposed to know where you're at. That all we do that by just developing over time.
Yeah, but if you even if you know where somebody's going to be at, if you look, I say this. I think they had the jitters, right? They wanted to be the ones that show the scouts that they belong in the NBA, and they just went out there, overran things.
Yeah, because that's a lot of young players.
Yeah, so I think they're just being young, and it got to them eventually. It doesn't matter the amount of talent you have, right? At the end, you got to be cool as a cucumber, and those guys were total opposite.
Don't it annoy you that, I don't know if you've heard him say this before. I've heard him say it many times, that it's about the kids and their lives are going to. He sounds more like an agent than a coach. And if I'm a Kentucky fan, I'm like, okay, because I used to really follow Kentucky basketball. Tennessee basketball in the 90s was garbage.
Didn't exist.
It was they never took it serious. If they don't take it serious, I don't take it serious.
Right.
So I followed Pitino.
Right.
And who's that other guy that took over after Pitino? Black guy. He's a very good coach. He wasn't a good recruiter.
Tubby Smith?
Yeah, Tubby Smith won a national championship. I want to say in 98.
Right.
I love those. When we were in school, man, I was really pulling for Kentucky. Well, I knew we were a joke. I mean, no offense. I mean, come on.
Did you go on that trip when we went to Louisville?
No, you always ask me that. Well, I knew they were going to get blown out. I always had to work that Saturday morning.
Right.
And
that was a good trip. That was a nice trip to Birmingham.
About 20 instead of 40. But I mean,
I went to watch.
I remember Louisville beat them up for 1 year.
Yeah, I went to watch Pitino coach. I was like,
Yeah, it was Louisville beat the brakes off of us. Yeah.
It was competitive for the first half.
But it's just that kills me about the Pitino.
But not for nothing, but I said
who do you think's going to win it now? I mean, we're what 15 more 14 teams left, something like that.
I'm hoping Purdue wins. That's my lock. I think they beat UConn.
Who do you think they're playing the best basketball?
I think they have the best basketball player.
Okay.
I think he makes a difference on that team. The way he
because Connecticut won him huge again last night, man.
Yeah, and Eddie, I think the way he went out last year has gotten to him. And I think he's got that that mental fortitude. And when he's doing well, the team does well. right? So, so I hope that he can do good for his team. UConn, they can get cold, and that's scary.
Yeah.
Because they
Creighton's playing Tennessee tonight. Creighton did beat UConn, so they're beatable per se.
Right.
It's not like they're not
any team is beatable. You just got to play. Yeah, I wouldn't say you got to play.
This ain't that second year. I thought that Florida team, the second year that had Joakim Noah when we were in school.
Right.
I didn't think they was going to look. I just thought this team right here, there's so much chemistry with these guys. Ronnie Brewer, Al Horford's still playing. Al
Horford's still playing?
Yeah, he's Boston.
I thought he retired.
He was the youngest player on that team.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Horford is still playing.
He was a young Ronnie Brewer. Right. They had some other guys too.
I was thinking a different player with that name.
Yeah. There's another Al something that used to play for Utah. You may be thinking about that guy.
I don't know. They can call me Al. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, or Al Borges. No, I'm kidding.
No, but I think Purdue. I think it's gonna be Purdue in Connecticut, and I think Purdue's gonna win out. But we'll see. I didn't play anybody's bracket because they're like I said, people were sick here, and I was tending to them, and I didn't get a chance to put my challenges in. But I did place my bracket on my Facebook page, so that way, somebody's seeing that I'm just making stuff up. It's on there, so.
Nah, I believe you, man. I remember you put it on mine too. When I was talking to Cream Blackston last Wednesday. Okay. Oh, yeah. Caitlin Clark has been offered to play in the Big Three, the men's. At first, I was like, man, this will probably work. $5 million to play for. Ice Cube's 3-on-3 tournament. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You think it will work?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you caught her reaction. She was pretty much like, I have people that handle that. I'm not worried about anything right now. I'm just worried about playing.
Right. She's just playing. Yeah.
And I like that from her, though, man. That makes you understand that she's like focused, that she's mature, and that, she's going to be a good baller wherever she goes after college. Will she be a great baller after college? I don't know. Sometimes women's basketball players, sometimes they hit a wall, I think, like after they get out of college.
Yeah.
And it's because they have different choices to make and things like that. So when like that Stacey Gale Smith, is that her name? When she quit?
I don't
know. She's a reporter for the NFL.
Oh, okay.
She played in Oklahoma. Oklahoma? Well, whatever team she played for when she was in college.
Yeah.
When she just quit playing basketball, I was like, wow, she's a Canadian too. And I was like, wow, why would she do that? She's like a great basketball player. But, everybody can make their own choices after they leave college. So,
but do you think she would? Now, they allow hand checking there. It's pretty physical.
I don't think that's going to bother her. She's a physical player, bro. She's
5'11". She'd be playing against 6'5", 6'8" men.
She's a shooter too.
I guess she could do that backward screen a lot and just kind of shoot 4-pointers. They got 4-pointers in there.
Right.
I think, but it's basically what she shoots the 3 from.
her only problem will probably be the speed of the game. She'll probably be faster than half of those people.
Yeah, well,
because you have to understand, she's fresh. She's gonna be coming out of college. Those guys are retired.
They're about our age.
You know what I'm saying? I'm fast in my brain, but my legs ain't moving as fast as my brain.
Ain't that the truth? Like Toby Keith said, the late great Toby Keith, I'm not as good as I once was, if I ever was. I was listening to Jason Whitlock, and he had a guy on there, TJ Moe, former receiver for Missouri. He's saying, it'd be hard for her to get a shot off. It's very physical. They allow, and Jason said, well, this would be such a publicity stunt for the Big Three. It was he would possibly look into changing the rules, make it more like a hand check league, like the NBA, and she would be able to get shots off. But wouldn't she be a defensive liability though? At 5'11",
it's 3-on-3, Robert. Like, you could be good. Like, you could play good for like the whatever, however they have it broken down. I think it's 2 halves, right?
Yeah. You get 25 points and then you start over.
Right.
And it's half court game.
Right. So
she could just as soon as you take it out, she could just shoot it from there, I guess.
Right. I mean, so it's so many possibilities for her to use her assets as a basketball player. Like, I think people sometimes they forget about that. Like, they forget that some of these women, they're basketball players. Like, and they have abilities that can sometimes overpass us guys, and so
yeah,
let her play. If she wants to play, let her play, and if she don't want to,
I doubt if she'll take it.
Yeah,
personally, I'd like to see it happen just to see what it looked like. Ice Cube is serious. Now, also the guy, what's that guy's name of Barstool? Portnoy, Dave Portnoy. He said he offered $10 million to do his intramural, some kind of intramural game. Now, I don't know how serious he is. He's got that kind of bank.
I would definitely take that. So one bite pizza, man.
Right. And, I interviewed a guy out of Detroit who Dave said he had the best pizza in Detroit. Freddie the Pizza Man.
Freddie the Pizza Man. I'm aware of this guy. I've seen him.
Yeah. So I personally think this is a summertime league. I think it would be awesome to see that. It's after the finals. I just think, don't you think she's going to create a lot of resentment because of her shot? I've never heard of a woman getting offered that. The WNBA salaries, what are they, like $200,000 or something?
Yeah, I mean, what's her name was offered that kind of money, and then she got stuck in Russia, right?
She was offered like $500,000 or something, or $1 million, and she's only making like $250,000 here. Brittany Griner. Yeah, former Baylor player, and she was she had some edibles or something on her, and she got some trouble for that. But this girl's averaging 30 points a game. She's the all-time. She's going to set the record for most points in a season when she's projected to. She's already got the most career points in 4 years. She's a phenom, man.
I mean, I don't think she's going to play for her own good, for her own sake.
I think she probably won't do it.
I think maybe if it doesn't work out,
it would help her profile, even if she got destroyed, because it's a men's league,
I don't think that has much to do with it anymore. Like I said, these guys they're our age, man. They ain't running a full court press, so she ain't got to worry about it.
Let me say this. I watch a lot of the big three. They do have some guys that are like 27, like semi-pro guys that are
guys that came back from China and stuff. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and then so it's not everybody's guys that played in the 90s. Not everybody's like Mighty Mouse who played back for the Portland Trailblazers 25 years ago with Shaq. Not those guys. There's some guys that are still in their prime and can play.
But they're not fast. It's not a fast game. You think it's fast? I watched it.
Fast.
I don't think it's that fast.
Man, you really got a lot of faith in her, don't you? How many points do you think she would score in a big three game?
15 to 20 points, maybe.
That would really. I think she might get 10.
No, because she can shoot a 3 with her eyes closed.
But
and they're 4 points.
And
they're 4 points. Yeah. And they're 4 points. So she shoots 5 of them.
That's 20. Yeah,
it's 20. And she shoots.
But
10
how do you know a guy's not going to walk out to the perimeter and guard her?
Who gonna guard her, man? She quick. She got a quick.
There's a lot of guys that can guard her, man.
She'd be all right.
This is why I want it to happen.
You want to see it. You want to see it to believe it.
I think she can do that backwards screen. Well, she runs behind the guy, and he kind of, it's a moving screen, but the ref don't call it, and she shoots behind him because she's got such range,
Robert. She'd be all right, man. She would do good. She would do good.
Okay, we need to sign her up then.
Yeah, I mean, she won't. I'm not saying she'll be the all-star of the league, but she can handle. I think she'll be able to handle her own. She's a tough cookie.
What about defensively, though? She's 5'11". These guys are all 6+.
Well, you keep saying
Muggsy Bogues is not in this league. Neither Spud Webb.
You sound like those old parents, old father figures. Like, well, I didn't make it to the NBA. You shouldn't.
No, I'm saying Muggsy Bogues or 5'3" Muggs or Spud Webb. He's not in the league. So I mean, I want her to do it, dude. I think it'd be fun, but the more I really analyze it, I'm not really sure. I don't think they'll hurt her. Because then the player will look bad, you know?
Look, at the end of the day,
some people think they could get hurt, though.
It's basketball.
Yeah, you mute yourself, brother.
Hold on,
what's a curse word by accident? No.
it's just basketball, man. Like, it's not football.
It's just effing basketball.
Right. If she plays the way she plays, she will score 15 to 20 points easy. I can see her some games score plus 30 easy, especially if she's shooting at the 4 point.
It's 50 points, and there's no clock. It just goes. It's a great. The Big Three's been on since 2017. It's the one thing nobody sees or talks about because the games are not consistent enough.
Right.
But I watch it on CBS. It's around, I think it comes on around 1 Eastern in June after the finals.
Right. I've seen it too. Hey, Nancy Lieberman, ain't she a coach?
Who is?
Nancy Lieberman.
Yeah, Nancy Lieberman.
Yeah. I watched some of that. Sometimes I'll watch it when there's a slow baseball game or, you know, like.
Yeah, it's summertime. Nothing's really going on. It's that dead period.
And they try to put like 3 or 4 golf matches on TV, and you're like, nah, man.
I know golf is just not that fun without Tiger. It's just not like it used to be. I mean, we got the Masters coming up, and I don't really care, man. The last 3 years.
It's coming up.
Yeah. So, but I think that'll be an interesting story. Okay. You're out of New York. Jets make a big trade. Hassan Reddick.
How about the Jets pick up somebody that can score points? How about the Jets stop? The Jets and the Giants now probably got a top-rated defense and got nobody to score. They got nobody to carry the rock, nobody to catch the rock. Like, I know I'm a guy, I love defense, man, because defense wins the games. But you still need offense to score points. They got this guy from the Eagles, and I'm all right with it.
They had to replace Huff, who they lost, man.
But that's not a big loss.
I'm trying to get this stat I found on him, but I had my phone in my pocket earlier.
They're almost like the same player. Didn't Reddick get injured a few times for the Eagles?
Yeah. I got some next generation stats on him, though. Reddick versus Huff, the guy they lost in free agency. Reddick had 44 pressures to 27. Okay. So he's just a much more explosive player. This is a 3rd round pick in 2026. It's years from now. And if he gets so many, I think he had, if he gets so many, also he's an all-pro. He was listed as an all-pro.
Yeah.
If he gets so many snaps, then it goes to a 2nd round pick.
Right.
So it was an upgrade. But my thing is, I just hope, again, that they don't go out and get another receiver in that 10th pick. They do not have a 2nd round pick this year. They need to get another offensive lineman. What do you think they should do with that 10th pick? They have picked up a lot of players, though.
They have picked up a lot of players, a ton of junk players. Michael Williams.
Yes.
They think it's a positive move because it's only 1 year, but I mean, what is a 1 year deal if you don't? Is Aaron Rodgers going to stay upright? Like, who's blocking for him?
Yeah, that's my thing. You know, Aaron Rodgers.
Is he even going to come back and be a good quarterback? Not a great quarterback, like a good quarterback. He's like older than us.
And all of these national people here, all of them are saying they should go out and get one of these big name wide receivers with that 10th pick, or get Brock Bowers, the tight end. And I'm thinking to myself,
what? Why?
The big tight end from Georgia.
Yeah, I know who that is. I know. I'm just like,
yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, you're thinking Brock Landers from Boogie Nights. How come, Keith, you didn't get my joke? I was talking to Keith earlier about, he said Chris Tucker. I said, oh, Smokey, huh?
I got it. But
yeah, he's from a different generation. He didn't watch Friday like we did.
I don't know if he watched Friday, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Justin Tucker's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Oh, you putting Smokey in the Hall of Fame, you know?
This guy.
Oh my God. So, anyways,
well, Robert, if you're a general manager for the Jets, you making these pickups that he's picking up. I think he's just reaching to like try to save his job. He's just.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, and I don't know if he's pushed Saleh's pushing Douglas to do this.
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
Or if Douglas is doing this on his own. Douglas has got a pretty good other than Zach Wilson and one offensive lineman. I forgot who was it that they
Becton.
Becton. Other than Becton, they did pretty good. He had the offensive rookie and I keep forgetting they got Garrett Wilson. They definitely do not need to get a receiver. See, and I'm telling you right now, we're going to do this show on the day before the draft night. I'm going to tell everybody what I'm going to say. If they go out and get a tight end, Rodgers is going to play about 4 or 5 games. If that, he's going to hurt again. Zach Wilson's going to be out there, and Saleh's going to be the first guy to be fired.
I said, and I keep saying
they're going to be right back in the lottery picks for
fire all of them, man. That don't look like that. Just looks like a recipe for disaster, bro. Like,
yeah.
And hear me out. As much as I love New York and the teams here, I don't think either team's gonna win more than 6 games. To be honest with you,
I could see a scenario where they have got a lot of guys.
Which I said last year. I said that last year that the Giants.
It's a good call.
And the Jets were not going to win more than 6.
I thought Jets would win a bunch of games.
Yeah,
but I'm drinking all that Kool-Aid, and just totally got man.
My man, this guy playing quarterback is older than you and I. You and I, some Jodeci.
He's not older than us, but thanks for saying that though. I think he'll be 40 this year.
Okay, he's a couple years younger than us.
In NFL years, he might as well be 75.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm like you. If they get the tackle, if they get a guy like the tackle from Oregon State or Alabama's got a right tackle, just a depth guy, or if they get Fashanu, if he slides the 10, there's a possibility 4 quarterbacks could go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my gosh! Don't tell me. We're gonna talk about that on draft day, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying
we're gonna talk about it because I don't.
A lot's gonna come about that pick for the Jets. They're going to be one of the key players to talk about. Let's talk about another big move by the Titans. Titans get L'Jarius Sneed this time last week in the middle of the night. Actually, overnight, Friday, a week ago tonight, man. I thought that was huge. What's your thoughts about that? Maybe the best corner since they've been the Titans, man. That's how good a big piece that is for them.
You know what? I don't know about this pick because he's played so hard, and when these guys come on a new deal, they don't do so hot, especially in cornerback.
Wow.
And
glass half empty, man. He's 27. He ain't 34.
I know, but
dang,
AJ never bothered never discriminated for the Titans cornerbacks and safeties.
Yeah.
So and they play. It depends on how they're going to play defense. It depends on what the scheme's going to be.
Yeah.
This is a new coach's staff. I don't know. I'm okay with the pickup, but I don't know what to expect from a pickup. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it's good to have him on the team, but is he gonna be an all-pro this year?
Wow, yeah, you're really short. I mean,
you know why I say that? Because
this guy, he is open field tackle.
Yeah, all that
cover. He can cover.
But here's the problem: if you have a safety that's not that good, or an okay safety, and you have another cornerback, that's not okay or good.
You
got to play harder, right? He's got to do, or you got linebackers that don't hit people coming through, and then you got to work it 10 times harder. Like all those things affect them, right? Like, for instance, like Revis, they didn't even throw to him.
Yeah,
they throw to his side. Are they
going
to throw to his side?
Past his prime. Now, that is an example of it not working out. When he went to Tampa, they played him in off coverage. That was terrible for Revis. Terrible with Charles Barkley voice. He's a press man guy all the way. Revis Allen.
That's the only reason I'm saying. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great athlete. I think he's a good football player. But none of that will matter if the scheme is off and it doesn't play to his advantages and his assets. And if the team around him are barely playing up to par, that means that he got to pick up more slack. That's not. That's not why you get a cornerback, man.
You forget that Jeffrey Simmons is on the team. He's in his prime.
I know.
One of the better tackles in the game, man.
Yeah, I feel like they should get one more linebacker and another safety.
They'll do that in the draft.
Yeah.
They could pick anybody they want to in that second round. They're not obligated to get a receiver since they've got Burks and they've got obviously Ridley and Hopkins for at least one more year.
Right.
Who he's still got plenty left in the tank. Kareem Blackston said maybe they get a tackle in the second round, defensive tackle. There's a big guy from Texas everybody's talking about if he's still available at 37, 38. I mean, that's a really good pick, man.
Yeah, so I don't think adding him makes the Titans defense. I don't think it brings them up a grade. I think it adds to the grade they already have. Like if they had a C-, they're a C+ now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Their issue's always been secondary.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So like they're trying to, just fill a hole with some putty, and it's like, just knock the wall down and rebuild, bro. Like
Christian Fulton, here's an example of that. Their lead corner last year. He signed a 1-year deal with somebody.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks into free agent. I mean, that tells you how bad they've been at corner. They've been bad at corner for a long time.
Yes, that's correct.
I can remember the other two excellent corners since the Titans have been the Titans since 1999. 25-year data. Cortland Finnegan and Samari Rolle. Yeah, Pac-Man was okay, but he got roasted a lot because he's small. But he's a good open field tackler. He returned punts well.
Right.
But other than that, the Titans have missed. Caleb Farley's been a major bust for them. Injured all the time. And just think about all the other guys. They're usually 27th, 28th against the pass, 32nd.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so Robert, now
corners are a big deal in this.
If you put him on the defense, how high do they go on the defensive chart?
The second, well, I tell you what, the lead receiver is not going to torch Tennessee no more. I played a cut where Jamar Chase has said, "Hey, he's the best player in their team defensively." And I think, well, yeah, I mean, I play that daily fantasy. And I would always look and see who's going against Tennessee. I never did that against Kansas City with their corners because they just didn't give up much. Duffy was good too. Owuzie, and this guy, L'Jarius Sneed. That's just that is a tremendous upgrade.
It's a great upgrade, but we need the Titans need complementary players. Yes or no?
Oh, yeah, you got Simmons, you got Arden Key, you've got Harold Landry. I don't know about their linebacking core.
That's a problem.
But that doesn't really bode.
Can Landry stay healthy?
Get to the Super Bowl without having good linebackers.
Right. Can Landry stay healthy?
Well, he's coming back from injury.
That's what I'm
saying. Not last year, the year before that. But Arden Key's great. Simmons is playing really well. I think they're going to be okay.
I'm okay with the pick, like I said, but
they may be like top 10. I don't know because they still may pick up another defensive player.
Yeah. I hope for the Titans' sake they get up closer to the top.
I think they're a dark horse playoff team next year.
I thought they were going to be in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. You look at Calvin Ridley. You look at there's a lot of Will Levis going through his reads last year, and he simply didn't have the time to throw. But now they're going to get off there with the second year out of Sidorsky. I've watched some of his individual film. He's doing well, but everybody around him was terrible. Now he's going to have a very good tackle there, and he's going to be there. That left side's going to be good. They just signed a new center. They gave that center quite a bit of money. Castleberry or whatever they got from Denver. Mm-hmm. So they're a new look team, man. I think they had the best offseason so far. I know that the Washington's got a higher picks and everything.
Right.
And they had the most money. A lot of people say maybe the Bears have, but, the Bears were trending upward prior to that. They just had a quarterback that held on the ball too long, got rid of him, got rid of Fields,
right.
Strawberry Fields. So now they're bringing in Caleb Williams. But now that's a big deal, man. But if you don't think so, we'll see. We shall see, Iwuku Saki.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I didn't want to burst your bubble, man. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be a cheerleader. I just thought that you would probably think that's you're not a big defensive guy. I know.
No, I am a huge defensive guy. I just ain't no sense in having defense if you can't score. Or if you're not going to score, your defense should score points or get you close to scoring.
Ridley, there was a major bidding war for Ridley.
I saw that. I read about that.
Did you know that the Patriots were going hard to get Ridley?
Yeah, which I was wondering why, because they don't have a quarterback.
Well, that's why he didn't take it. He didn't like the weather. He's like me. He don't want this cold weather. It sucks.
That's Randy Moss. His girlfriend for his career.
They don't know who's going to be the quarterback there.
I think Randy Moss would have had like 20 more catches had he not played in the Patriots.
How many more catches?
20.
Oh, yeah.
It's cold up
there. He
had
that in 2 games with the Patriots. Yeah, had a second coming. So Ridley was that's a big deal for Tennessee. Jacksonville was up to $20 million for Ridley, and you look at Levis, this guy could be a star next year, man. I mean,
I'm okay. That's the only reason I'm not.
You had to clean up some things. Mainly, he's overconfident. He's got a lot of Jay Cutler in him. Just because you got the big arm doesn't mean you always have to throw into double coverage. Take the dump off. And I'm sure that's what Callahan's going to say. Listen, man, we got 2 running backs for a reason. We want you to drop it down. You can't get the big play every down.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Pollard pickup, but.
Well, he's going to play their power guy. And then.
He don't have power. He coming back from a hurt leg. He didn't play that well last year.
But that's his second year back, though.
Yeah.
From that. That's not a great pickup for them.
That's a high hope.
But that's a good pickup. It's an underrated pickup. He's 3 years younger than Henry.
I think it was too much. They paid too much for him.
Yeah, he probably paid too much. I would have probably waited till the 4th round, but they don't have a 3rd round pick, see. I think Ray Davis would have been a fine running back for Tennessee, the former Kentucky player.
Right.
Or that Schrader guy. The Benson guy is going to be the first one probably off the board from Florida State. Very fast running back there. But they didn't have that 3rd round pick. They wanted to bring in Pollard. I think Pollard's going to be fine. He can catch the ball out of the back. He's a better catcher of the ball. They're going to play that dump off game when teams have got but I think about it is if Burks comes in like I think he's going to come in, this team going to be one of the better offenses in this division.
I'm hoping because that's my 3rd team that I root for is the Titans.
Yeah.
And then the only ones that are close to any chance to get into the Super Bowl compared to these other dipstick.
They may have some problems.
Got over going.
Yeah. The Giants and the Patriots could be really bad next year. Especially the Giants.
The Giants and the Jets are going to be terrible.
Yeah, well, if they stay healthy, they could. The Jets could, if they make the right move and get the tackle, they could be a wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
If Breece Hall, run the ball, throw short, you got a good defense. Buffalo lost a lot of players. They lost their entire secondary.
Yeah.
In Miami lost like 6 defensive guys, and who knows if Tua is going to be able to stay healthy 2 years in a row. So the Jets could win that division. Do you think the Patriots going to do it? I think the Patriots are going to be probably right here again next year.
I think
Yeah, Mayo, man, he really ticked me off when he started talking about this hiring black coaches, and we got who says that? Who says that in front of a guy who just gave you a job? You know, like, who are you trying to appease? The View, Whoopi Goldberg, and that crew, or are you trying to pump up the Patriot fans for a new regime? You know, and plus, I don't know who their offensive coordinator is. I've never heard of them. If I'm Drake May, I hope they don't draft me and run my career. You know, they ain't got no pieces.
I don't know if the Jets win that.
Yeah, like the Patriots are going to be bad. Y'all are going to beat up on the Patriots. You know, Buffalo's defense is going to have a lot of holes in it.
I still think it's going to be Miami and Buffalo. I still think
probably, but Xavier Howard, he's still a free agent. He's their best. Probably second best corner there for Miami. Justin Simmons is a big the other Simmons. Yeah, Justin Simmons, the safety from Denver. Tennessee may pick him up, but he's 30 though. You know, that's probably why he hasn't got picked up yet.
Right, because he's getting up there.
He's still very good. I think his price tag is really high. I think he's got to get over himself.
He wants to get paid for what he did, not what he's going to do.
Right. Yeah. You're not that good. You're not that big.
He's good, but he's older. So, but when you're good and you're older, you're looking for a security blanket.
Yeah, he'll probably go to a contender.
Probably.
Tennessee could use him, but they'll probably pick up a safety in the draft, man.
Right.
So, all right, man. What shows you on? Has anything changed?
Yeah, we haven't shot what the football in a few weeks because of the sicknesses that we've all been going through here. So we'll be back. I'm gonna probably do a preemptive show either today or tomorrow. The season just started. The Mets and the Yankees, so it's already crazy, right? They had clear the benches in Citi Field this
really
afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it wasn't a brawl or nothing. It was just a player.
The Mets always play better when nobody's expecting anything of them.
It was just Rhys Hoskins. He ran into Jeff McNeil's leg and cleated him, and he got upset. And it was a legit play, unfortunately. So people got fluffed. Everybody ran out. Nothing happened.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'll be heading out there in a couple of days to.
Did you get season tickets? Did your wife get you season tickets again?
Yeah.
You say it begrudgingly.
Well, it's not.
Well, you get to see other great players though around the league, though, right?
I get to watch other teams and their players.
When's the Dodgers come into town?
In September, usually.
Well, maybe nothing will come about with Ohtani.
Yeah, watch me wait for this Dodger game and Ohtani's to be suspended, like I said he would be.
You're not even counting on it, right?
I do what every player does in every league, every season. I'm just gonna take it day by day, man. We just gonna do it day by day.
Yeah. Did you see the Yankees play last year against the Mets?
Oh, against the Mets? Yeah, I did. I have the tickets for the. I always get a ticket for the.
Y'all sit where you can catch home runs?
Do I get?
Do you sit like in the outfields?
So I used to sit by the apple, and now I sit off the third base line. So I'm still able to catch.
Y'all catch any balls, man?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's nice. I've always wanted to try to catch a foul.
You got to come up here, bro. Catch a game with me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe. I mean, I may be relocating. Of course, I've been saying that for 3 years. Not up north. I want to go warm, man.
Go over there to Phoenix,
Arizona. Tampa and catch one of their games. You know they got plenty of seats.
To be honest with you, there's always plenty of seats available. You just go out there.
That's a good thing about baseball. You can always go to a baseball game, just about. Unless it's the World Series or something.
The only thing, like, I don't go to the Bronx at night, so there's a lot of Yankee games at night. So. It's not. I'm not scared.
And Bronco from the Bronx.
Yeah, it's just a long trip from the Bronx to Queens. It's a long trip.
Yeah, so. They got a lot of day games though.
They don't have enough. They don't have enough.
Really?
Yeah, because they play on primetime too. So
they're like Dallas.
So a lot of their 1 o'clock games they had are 4 o'clock games now for the Yankees. And the same thing, the Mets have a lot more 4 o'clock games than 1 o'clock. So
Yankees are still a big draw.
Always, yeah. But So what's the football? I'm gonna try to do a show or two in the next few days, and then I'll catch up again every Tuesday night.
And then you got 9 a.m. right with Keith. Are you serious?
Yeah, Friday nights, Friday mornings, 9 a.m. I'm with Keith on TGI Sports, on the LTS. Are you serious? And then at night with you on Fridays, we're gonna do a draft show on Sunday with the NFC East show with Alan Perales.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
I'll try to catch that. Yeah.
So I don't know if we're gonna put the rules down, if we're gonna have trades or moves, but
you don't want no trades, do you?
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go regular no trades because
unless a trade happens.
Yeah, no, but I have this funny feeling CeeDee Lamb's gonna get traded during the draft.
Wow. I'll tell you this and I'll let you go. I had a trade proposal. You might have watched it on one of my YouTube things a few weeks ago. This is before Fields got traded. But I was thinking, since Dallas is maxed out, why don't they just trade Parsons and Dak? Because Dak, by the way, Dak's not going to sign. They haven't signed. Dak's he's going to play on the last year of his contract. He's a huge cap hit. Trade both of those guys Chicago for the number 1 pick, and get maybe a future pick from the Bears. You put those two guys with the Bears with all their talent already, and they had the cap room, they could go pretty far.
That sounds like a sweet deal.
Yeah, and then ultimately you're rolling the dice on a Caleb Williams or whoever you want to take at quarterback, but you still got a ready-made team around them.
Right.
People, they scalded me on the internet. Man, that's just stupid.
Oh, I get that all the time.
Fanboys.
I get that all the time, right? Yeah. And then I'm like, I mean, you like if you just call it like you. I
love Parsons too. He's probably a Hall of Fame material player, but you're the opposite. The goal is to win a Super Bowl. It's not to look great in the regular season, right?
Right, which is why I always bring up
play to win the game.
The NFL isn't a place to develop players. Now you can go to teams and get developed, but those teams that win usually they're not developing players. They get players that are ready to go, that are ready, like So
take a shot with the Caleb Williams or maybe.
I get all this buff on talk. I'm like, all right, well, I'm speaking.
Like they're too afraid to give up anything.
What are you afraid of? If you can't win, you don't win. It's like,
yeah, I mean, you got beat 48-24 in your own house by Green Bay. That's as far as you're going to get with that team.
A quarterback that hasn't played in like 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, and then the year before that, you get beat by the 49ers. They're as good as they're going to be.
That's
and I don't know why Cowboy fans don't understand that.
That's exactly right.
Nick is a big time Cowboys fan, Nick Perez. So he would probably scold me for saying that.
I mean, I'm here in New York, man. There's nothing I haven't heard. And when people are like, well, you just support your team, man. It's like, I do support
I'm not Jamie Pags.
Yeah, but I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid when the Kool-Aid it tastes like last year's, fruit punch. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All right, man. Carlos Bad New Yorker Chavez, I will see you next Friday, hopefully.
Yes. Happy Friday, people. Enjoy your NCAA.
Oh, happy Easter, buddy. And you and your family get to feeling better, man.
No, I'm trying. We trying.
All right. See you, buddy.
Have a good one, guys.
All right.